What's going on, Detroit Lions fans? Little late night Monday, not late, but 8 o'clock at time of recording, late-ish for me. Normally don't do 3 episodes in a day, so this is not a first, but it's been a while. I'm gonna go over a couple of the Detroit Lions roster moves. Nothing really surprising. Donovan Peoples-Jones cut, released, whatever you want to call it. I could speak for myself and say that I saw this one coming. I thought Isaiah Williams stole that job with his production, his practices, everything that I saw on either Twitter or in the eye test watching football games. I thought Isaiah Williams won that job. When it comes to Donovan, I hope he gets picked up by another team. I hope he has a good long career. Michigan kid, Detroit native, went to U of M. I thought we'd get a little more. I thought last year I was a little underwhelmed with the trade. Wanted more of a defensive pass rusher. I said, all right, we're trading for a big body receiver that we're all familiar with in the state of Michigan. Just didn't pan out. Probably one of the bigger roster cuts that's coming. I think they did it for a reason to kind of give him a little bit of extra time to get on with another team. And someone will pick up Donovan. I hope he has a good career. I hope he has a better fit with wherever he lands. Hope to see him do well, just not if we're playing not if he's playing the Detroit Lions. But with that being said, I've noticed some other roster moves and a lot of names kind of slowly starting to filter out as teams are slowly starting to make cuts. Tim Patrick. And I've seen many people on Twitter not begging, but asking Brad Holmes to at least make the call for Tim Patrick, see what it's going to take. So I do some digging. I don't jump on. I don't see a name and I don't just say, hey, this is something I got to talk about. I got to do a little homework. Okay. I love everything about Tim Patrick's measurables. 6'4", 212 pounds, out of Utah, 7th season. He will be 31 about halfway through the year in November. So not exactly a young pup, but he's still got some football left. I do have some concerns. He hasn't played football in the last 2 years. All right, his last season was in 2021 where he played in 16 games, had 53 receptions on 85 targets, 734 yards, 5 touchdowns. His numbers from 2020 and 2021 are pretty much almost identical, within a couple of things. 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 6'4". I mean, I like the measurables and I like what he puts out. I like the stat that he's putting out. Not playing football for 2 years. That's a concern for me. And that's the only thing that makes me say that this isn't a Brad Holmes move. Two football seasons off. The first thing that came to mind was kind of Emmanuel Mosley. He's kind of going through the same thing that E-Man's going through. He's played this preseason, so I feel like we don't really have a definitive kind of look at what Tim Patrick's going to do. His preseason stats are 5 catches, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown, and he didn't play in the third game against Arizona for whatever reason. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if there's an injury or something going on there, or if that was just a coach's decision. Maybe they knew he was going to get cut, and they wanted to give some guys a look. So my only concern is not playing in the NFL for 2 seasons. I think he had an Achilles injury and an ACL, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, 2 years and not playing in the football, man. There's some rust there. There's some rust, but I do like his production. I do like what he's able to do when he's healthy. He's not a Pro Bowler. Don't need him to be. What I need him to be, what I hope he could be if he becomes a Detroit Lion, is I see his stats and I think Josh Reynolds. That's who we got to replace. We were expecting DPJ to take that role. We were expecting Donovan Peoples-Jones to step up and take that Josh Reynolds production. Tim Patrick is more than capable, but not playing for 2 years is kind of a big concern for me, guys. I'm excited to see that maybe we make a move. I don't think that this ultimately happens. I don't think that this is something Brad Holmes is going to do. I think as much as we all can agree that maybe we do need another wide receiver, at the end of the day, it's up to the guy in charge. It's up to Brad. Okay. I think there's some other options out there. Let's not jump on the first one just because he's the first player available. I've seen some reports about Houston Texans. That's a team that we've been talking about on this channel for months. we've been telling you guys that the Houston Texans are going to have to cut one of their wide receivers, and they got. I've seen Noah Brown's name. They got a couple guys out there in Houston that it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. So just because Tim Patrick's available doesn't mean you take the first girl to prom that shows you a little interest. Okay, let's let some stuff play out. But also, I will say this about Tim Patrick. His quarterback play while he was in Denver, obviously you guys are, if you're an NFL fan, you know that the Denver Broncos have had a quarterback carousel. They've started pretty much everyone. They haven't had a quarterback really since Peyton Manning left. So they've been kind of shuffling around, hoping that someone sticks, and it just hasn't worked out. I think the last couple of years they've had Russell Wilson with Tim Patrick, and it just wasn't a good mix. So Tim Patrick, I think, does need he's going to get a new opportunity somewhere. I don't know where that will end up being, but picturing him with Jared Goff, an upgrading quarterback, his production's great. Literally the only thing that's making me a little hesitant is that 2 years off of football. I don't really know what else to say other than that. I think we need to just let tomorrow play out. Maybe the rest of the night play out. I don't know. I think there's going to be some more names throughout the night here. Monday, August 26th, there's going to be some more people cut tonight, I believe. But just because Tim Patrick's the first one available doesn't mean we should just jump right on the opportunity, okay? I think he will be a free agent for a little bit. I don't think he's going to be the hottest name out there where teams are calling and blowing up his agent's phone. I think he'll eventually get a call. I think he will get picked up by a roster. I just don't think it'll be anytime soon. So let's not rush, guys. Okay, I get it. We look at the 6'4", 210-pound, whatever it was, frame, and we think that X receiver that we need. We didn't really address it in free agency or the draft, and now one becomes available. I get it. It's exciting to think about, but taking 2 years off from the NFL, it's a lot harder than you guys think. Like, I'm trying to put it into comparison. Like, I really, really hope that Emmanuel Mosley and Tim Patrick kind of find their way, because I don't like to see injuries end careers. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very hard for these guys to probably overcome that obstacle. And I'm a little surprised Tim got cut. But they got that new quarterback out there. If I'm from Oregon, Bo Nix. I thought they'd like to keep a big body receiver, and they traded Jerry Jeudy. They traded pretty much everyone. So I don't know what's going to happen. Bo Nix, I don't know who he's going to be throwing the football to. I think they still have Cortland Sutton end of list when it comes to receivers. So, guys, my opinion, does this happen? Unlikely, because of the injuries, the injury history. We're a team with Super Bowl aspirations. Okay, let's not just go jumping into bed with the first pretty girl that becomes available. Okay, let's give it some time. Let's let it play out. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're all for this and think that Brad Holmes needs to make the call, hey, I'm not going to disrespect your opinion. It is what it is, but I just have a different one. I don't think it's a good match because of the injuries. That's the only thing stopping me. So leave your comments down below. Hit that like button, guys. Stick around. I'll be back later with another show.